Well, LAX, the first iteration was 100% like Latino militants. So if you watch our video wall when it came out, you'd see Castro and Che Guevara and revolutions in South America, and the moniker LAX stood for Latin American Exchange. To be in LAX, you had to be Latino. So it was almost like we were doing reverse discrimination. And yeah, we were going out there and we were playing on all those themes that were still prevalent now, the wall and the racism. And we did this thing where I remember the Orlando Police Department called Dixie Carter, the owner, and they were like, yeah, we're not going to stand for this. I had a stun gun, and I pretend that I shot Spike Dudley, but it was actually a stun gun. And I said, oh, I'm like the Orlando Police Department. I shoot first, ask questions later. This was 2006. We're having that problem still today, so it kind of went hand in hand. We were real. It was really militant.
How was it changed to this incarnation?
Well, because we're kind of good guys now, right? So the message changes a little bit, especially in a, again, in a hypersensitive, hyper political atmosphere we live in now. It's a very touchy subject, especially if you're a baby face. You can get away with it probably if you're a heel. Now, as a society, we're more politically correct. I think overly politically correct, as a matter of fact, and uh, you don't see that much ribbing and hazing anymore. Like that. I think, you just don't see that anymore. It's a different generation. They're very um, well. For one thing, like when I first walked into a dressing room, and I have my boy over here, Gamma, saying, I'm probably sure same thing with him. When you first walked into a dressing room, Gamma, I'm assuming that half of the guys that were in the dress, no, 80% of the guys that were in the dressing room were men, not kids.
Pretty much, yeah.
So when I walked in, when I walked into the dressing room, it was all men. Now you walk into the dressing room, it's mostly kids. So, and they were hard partying men. Like they were smoking, drinking, doing every drug you could imagine. These guys don't do drugs. I think they learned from our generation. Like that's one. We like the party, but the death part not so much. So we'll eradicate all those little things you guys were doing. Like there's no pill problems here. When I was growing up in the industry, there was a humongous pill problem.